everybody. Welcome to EdTech Chat and Chew. And Mike, what number are we on this week?
We're on 55.
55. And you know, I was just looking. We have done this now for 3 years almost.
Yeah, it's exciting. And when you look back at the amazing connections we've made and friends that we've made and guests that we've had on the show and some of the projects we've put together, it's been an excellent 3 years.
It's been fun. It has been fun. And just the projects and how they've gone from here to here is amazing. We ended up with over 100 classrooms join the KidWish Project.
Yeah, and just, you know, I've got two classes that participated, and there's been some really cool things that I'll talk about in a little bit that have come out of it. So we're excited.
Very cool, very cool. And, you know, we've got more projects that will be around the corner before too long. And I do have one to share today. But before we get into that one, how was your break, Mike?
It was excellent, much needed. And because we have so much family, we usually spend breaks running around and visiting and all that. And we had spent a couple days with my parents in New York City with the kids, doing some teacher field trips and bringing the kids along. My wife's a teacher also, so we spent some time at the American Museum of Natural History in New York. My favorite room in there is the Hall of Biodiversity, which is a giant wall. It's almost like a family tree of animals, you know, going back to single-celled organisms and bacteria all the way up to, you know, giant squids that are hanging from the ceiling. And it shows how all of them are interconnected and related in different ways that, you know, different orders and classifications or whatever. But it's just a really cool room. And it's right off, if you know, one of the more famous rooms in the museum is the whale room that has the giant blue whale hanging from it. And that's my kid's favorite room. It was right next door. They actually spent a night, they had one of those sleepovers at the museum.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, and my brother took them as a I think it was their birthday present. And they went and slept in the whale room a couple years ago. So yeah, we had a lot of fun as a family. How was your break?
First of all, I just have to imagine spending the night in the Natural History Museum, how amazing that would be, how frightened I might be to wake up and go, oh, where am I?
yeah. Or when you think about the movies, you know, the night at the museum movie. Yeah. That's cool. So I was actually thinking, I want to explore that and see if they're doing that again. And now that I'm a science teacher, what an awesome field trip it would be to put together, like to offer to kids through our PTO, if we could get a bus together and go down there for that. So yeah, definitely on the radar.
You know, there's a grant that's on the Teachers Leading Going Global page that is a grant that you can spend up to $10,000
wow.
to take teachers on a travel adventure. You might need to look into that.
Yes, I think that's an excellent idea, because that would be an excellent adventure.
Because that would cover the cost of your bus and everything you would need to do.
Yeah,
so yeah, you might need to look at that. It's due at the end of the month. I've been kind of toying around with a couple of ideas for it as well. I really am curious to know more about design thinking and putting that into the classroom, and I'd love to go to the D school at Stanford. So I don't know, maybe we'll go see if some adventure comes our way, but I think it would be an outstanding trip for your teachers to go to New York City.
Yeah, I love the idea, so I will definitely be checking that out.
Let's check on that. A break for me was really good too. It was out in San Diego for the Little Smokes band. High school band was marching at the Holiday Bowl. Took a little field trip myself, a couple of them, teacher field trips. One of them was while we were at SeaWorld. I always look to see what are the extra things you can do. I think it's the Disney in us both.
Yep.
You know, you go tour the regular stuff, you're like, well, what magic can I make beyond that? So looked and saw there were a couple of options. One was a dolphin encounter where you could go up and pet them and do all this without getting in the water. And we did that for a Little Smokes Christmas gift. And the second one was just a behind the scenes tour with a group of about 10 people, and actually got to touch a jellyfish. The coolest thing ever. And these are.
So was it one of the big jellyfish?
About like that.
Little one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But they were moon jellyfish. In their particular setup, you can touch them without being dangerous to humans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like touching Jell-O.
Yeah.
The top of a Jell-O that was wet.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I'm telling you, my teacher heart was singing.
Well, I mean, along those lines, you know, I mean, I grew up on Long Island, so you know, like jellyfish were not one of my favorite things when they were, you know, when they would come, you know, the water would get warm at the end of the summer. But when we were out in Washington State last summer, my daughter and I went for a run along the beach up at Kalela, and there were jellyfish all over the place. And as you know, as fun as they are to touch, They're not so great when you're barefoot trying to run in the sand and you're stepping on them. It was like we were serpentine on the beach trying to avoid the.
You were kind of like Nemo and Dory trying to jump on the top of them. And that's all I could think of is I just feel like I'm Dory. Don't you?
Yeah, you're bouncing on them.
But yeah, you gotta have those fun trips and unforgettable memories. But good things.
Yeah, and it looked like a cool trip. I saw your pictures on Facebook.
Oh, it was
what an awesome experience for Little Smoke to be able to play out there.
It was amazing. He did say that it was something he would never forget. That's exactly what it should be. And two huge kudo, thumbs up, go to these band directors who put this together. It was amazing. Yeah. You know, I'm married to education, but I'm pretty sure they're a plus one. It's kind of, they're impressive guys.
Yeah, good stuff.
Tell me about your global collaboration adventures lately.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've really spent a lot of time working on before break, that we're transitioning a little bit into something a little different, is from talking with our friend Livingston in Kenya, and I think I mentioned on a previous podcast about the bridge problems that they have there, where there's a bridge that crosses the village that's there. It's a small village, not a whole lot of people there, a couple hundred people, but almost half the village needs to cross this creek that's in a pretty steep ravine to get to one side or the other for different reasons during the day, including many of the school students that go to school there. And the younger students, the bridge is made out of just logs that are nailed together. It's on an angle. There's gaps between the log that make it very difficult to cross and very dangerous. And so many of the parents of some of the younger students won't let their kids go to school at a young age until they're old enough to cross it when it's a little bit safer. Now, my daughter's in 7th grade. I wouldn't want her crossing this bridge. I mean, it's pretty scary to look at. And in addition, during the rainy season, when the creek floods, the bridge is impassable for anyone in the village. And I know some of Livingston's students at the school that he runs didn't make it to graduation this year because they couldn't cross the bridge. So it causes a lot of problems. Once my students heard about this, they wanted to do something to help. This was a problem that they wanted to solve. And so we spent a couple weeks before break looking at different bridge designs, playing around with some paper and cardboard designs, seeing some different videos of how bridges were made. We're looking for an engineer that'll maybe help us out, and we've got a couple of leads on that to talk to us. But now that it's January, we have one of our 5th grade teachers that is looking to do some fundraising. And we've partnered with our friend Gina in Iowa, who's very interested, who's a 5th grade teacher. And Sandy Adams down in Georgia, who's a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert. The two of them want to get involved in helping fundraise also and maybe look at some different bridge designs. And so we're going to be putting together a fundraising project to replace that bridge to make sure that it's safe for the kids in that village to be able to go to school. And what we're hoping is that we can come up with some different designs that we could submit as possibilities, for them to replace the bridge with.
Fantastic. Yeah. And Livingston's talking that he was starting his new school year today, so he was very excited, and having a safer place for his kids to be able to get to school, that would be life-changing for many of them.
Yeah, it's it's amazing how one global project leads into another. So we started just with, how many years ago? It was 2 or 3 years ago. We started just with a cultural exchange where we sang to the kids at Cheery, where Livingston was teaching at the time, and they sang to us, and now a couple years later, we're on our 3rd or 4th major global project, with different kids in Kenya. We've worked at 3 different schools, and now we're working in a rural area. And for Livingston, he's on his 3rd school that he's impacted in an amazing way, and actually starting his own school and bringing these incredible experiences to kids in his home village. So yeah, it's been a pretty amazing ride.
And he said his hope for this year is to make 2 million virtual miles for his students. So if anybody wants an awesome place to connect and have your students meet some other beautiful kids, we highly recommend connecting with Livingston for that.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah, so just send them a tweet. It's at El Kigode, so LKEGODE. And let him know that you want to connect, and I'm sure that he'd be thrilled to have the students connect with you in some way.
Most definitely. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
And
so how about you?
Today,
what do you guys have going on?
Today we launched our Travel Buddy project. For this past semester, 2nd grade classrooms, we have 13 2nd grade classrooms involved in this. And they've each got their own stuffed animal that they've been doing home visits with. So he goes to stay with someone different each evening, and they're collecting data on weather and food, nutrition, all kinds of really cool information, and working on their literacy skills. Well, all of the students here in Kansas have had their home visits with one of these buddies. Now we are looking for partner classrooms to take the buddies for the second semester. And Cheryl McCrory, bless her heart, she's one awesome gal who we've done a lot of global collaboration with through Twitter. She said, me first, and so we've already got one connected that'll be going that direction here soon. But we will be using the hashtag KSTravelBuddy as our project and see how these characters explore for the spring. We are really excited. Our goal is to try to get on 6 continents. We'll hope for the best if we can make that happen. And see what we can do to find out about different communities and weather patterns and all kinds of really cool stuff around the world.
Yeah, that sounds great. And if you need some connections, now I've got a couple different networks where I've got some people in some really neat locations. So if you need a continent or something like that, let me know. We'll definitely see.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah, that's a cool. I think you mentioned it years ago to me that one of the easiest ways to start connecting globally is data collection, because it's so easy to do. And actually, I think I passed that advice on to someone else this morning in India who was looking at a different project that they wanted. But that's always stuck with me, that it's it's so easy to just ask people about information about where they live. What's the temperature in the summer and the winter where you live? Something as simple like that can just lead to a connection that springs into so many other different possibilities.
Exactly. That, and kids are experts. They can tell you, what do I do for fun here? Well, that's really hard to Google. What do children do for fun in Nepal, or what do kids do for fun in Argentina? But if you ask a kid, what do you do for fun? What? Play soccer. I do all other things. I'm like, really? That's the same thing we do.
Yeah.
That it's all the same. Let kids tell you what they know. They know a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
so go ahead.
That one connection will build friendships. Teachers' networks grow a little bit bigger, and then more projects come from there. So yeah, definitely, it's a launching pad.
Yeah, and one of the things that I always hear from teachers, in addition to the global collaboration, I'm a big, both of us are big proponents of building your network of amazing teachers, online, so that you both have support and inspiration for the things that you're doing in your classroom. But a lot of teachers are like, well, I just don't feel comfortable. There's this new, using Twitter or whatever, this new place, I just don't know what to say, or, these kinds of simple projects are a great way to start that collaboration and that dialogue that lead to relationships that you then have this network. It's scary to go on there and just, post something about your day, or, ask a question, you don't know people. But if you say, hey, my students are looking for, what's the weather in your area and where do you live? Boom, there's a perfect opportunity to start building those relationships that could lead to so many beautiful things down the road.
Plus, it teaches students some really cool digital citizenship skills that they're not
Absolutely.
getting without these experiences. So let's jump in and do them. They're fun.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
So I was going to say, along the lines of all of the great global projects that we're talking about, those who are fans of the podcast or watch our episodes should definitely stay tuned, because in the next month or so we've got some really awesome big news to announce about some changes that are going to be going on with the podcast. And I'm going to leave it a surprise and kind of leave a little cliffhanger there for our viewers. But we're really excited about some of the changes that are going to be happening and some of the things that we're going to be able to do here to bring to our audience. So yeah, definitely stay tuned.
And more projects to come. So
absolutely.
if you like jumping in, we've got more opportunities around the corner. So we will keep you posted with hanging those little carrots of teasing before we get started.
Yeah, and I know we're starting to wrap up the KidWish Project. I know my cards went out in the mail before break. I just got an email from our partner classes that they're going to be sending to us. I know that's probably happening all over the place. And just as we're wrapping up KidWish, it's just about time to launch Virtual Valentines, and I think that's going to be the next big project that people should look out for. And that one is, I think it's even easier than KidWish, because there's no snail mail involved. You just create something digitally, and so definitely stay tuned for that in the next couple weeks.
Yes, and then we've got art coming around the corner after that, maybe a little poetry after that. So, there's just too many reasons not to want to try, but you want to do it anyway. Just jump in and play with us.
And one of the things that I love about the projects that we've been able to put together over the past couple of years is, you know, they're so easy. Yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're looking at your first global collaboration experience, you know, sometimes it's so complicated and so hard. And where do I start? Where do I find my connection? Where, you know, we're doing all that for you. We're giving you the connection. You know, all you got to do is press a button and you know, connect. Boom, there you're ready to go. So
exactly. Plus, you know, for me, Mike, having the ability to make new friends through these projects is even better. Because even though I may not be the classroom that's having that direct connection, I've made friends through connecting other people.
Yeah.
And really enjoy that part of it as well. So yeah, good stuff.
No doubt.
All right. Well, what did you have for lunch today, Mike?
So Lori decided to actually, from being inspired, I put together for you for Christmas the Disney cookbook online using OneNote of all the different Disney recipes I had.
Loved it, by the way. Loved
cool.
it.
Good. Yeah, I thought that was right up your alley. And it's got desserts and appetizers and all that. I used, being a DVC member, all of the old Disney Files magazines that I get through DVC, as well as some other different Disney recipes that I had in some obscure places. So I put them all in a OneNote notebook and I sent them to you. But I also sent it to Lori because, you know, my stomach makes my stomach happy for her to have those recipes. And she was inspired. One of them in there was a chicken and yellow rice recipe that she made, and so I had the leftovers today. And yeah, so if you're looking for something to try, you know,
I'll give that a go, most definitely.
How about you? What was for lunch?
For lunch today was pretty low key. Little Smoke and I are trying to be a little bit better about what we're eating and so forth. So had some green tea to go with it, but we just did little sandwiches at home and grapes, oranges, fresh fruit, you know, kind of fresh fruit. We went a little on the healthy side. So yeah.
Excellent. Good.
But you still get the reward.
Well, yeah. I feel like I get that a lot, but really it has nothing to do with me and everything to do with Lori. So.
Well, you know, just be grateful because I have to say I can live virtually through your lunch. It works out. All righty, my friends. Well, we will see you next time on EdTech Chat and Chew.
Bye, everyone.